Over the past 2 years, we've been delivering a lot of progressive web apps. The reasons why we chose ScandiPWA. But there are over 54, I believe, and that list is growing. ScandiPWA was the best, and we would thoroughly recommend it. Okay, hi everyone. Hopefully you can see my screen now. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we have worked with ScandiPWA for a British manufacturer called Morland UK. It's a very big project, and I'm going to just run you through some of the details and the reasons why we chose ScandiPWA. So I'm the CEO and owner of Screen Pages, and we're a full-service e-commerce agency based in the UK. Here are some screenshots. The project is not live yet, but obviously we wanted to develop a project that would work across all platforms and all devices, irrespective of connectivity. That was one of the customer's key requirements. So a bit about Screen Pages. Our clients include fast-moving consumer goods companies that sell food, wine, fashion companies, lifestyle, but also B2B companies and companies that want to sell to consumers and their trade customers through e-commerce channels. So we've been around for over 20 years, and during that time we've developed a lot of expertise in a number of disciplines. So all the different types of e-commerce, maximizing user experience, delivering e-commerce solutions for people with large visits from a multitude of mobile devices, companies who want to sell through e-commerce globally. We do a lot of e-commerce leadership and coaching. Integration is one of our fortes, search engine optimization. And more recently, over the past 2 years, we've been delivering a lot of progressive web apps and headless architectures. So here's an example of some of our clients. So as you can see, it's a mixture of manufacturers, fashion retailers, homeware companies, and so on and so forth. So a bit about Morland UK. So Morland is part of a much bigger company called the Newmore Group, and they're a leading manufacturer of products that people use to fit out the interiors of caravans, mobile homes, movie sets, kitchens, offices, etc. The business was founded in the 1970s, and they manufacture a variety of very complicated products with very interesting finishes for people who want that special look. And they deliver their products worldwide. So they came to us because they were looking for a solution that would allow them to service their trade customers online, as well as the end consumer. So these are people who want to actually do up their own caravans, etc. So when they came to us, we decided that the best possible solution for them to address their business requirements was Magento Commerce Cloud with a ScandiPWA front end. And there are a number of reasons for that, which I'll go into in a bit. But it's a very big project, and it's heavily integrated with their back office, which is Dynamics Nav. And they have obviously some very complicated inventory management and fulfillment issues that they need to address. So it was really important that they chose an agency that had that mixture of skills. So their project goals were, first and foremost, to have a mobile-first approach. So over 50% of their traffic from consumers was coming from mobile devices, but increasingly their trade customers were also wanting to actually use mobile devices to access the products and services on their website. They also wanted to, just through one platform, be able to deliver a consistent shopping experience. So irrespective of whether their customer had iPhones, Samsung devices, Huawei devices, or any kind of Android device, they wanted to one solution that fits all, including desktop as well, and tablets. Speed, obviously, was a major requirement for them. Irrespective of connectivity, and that's one of the reasons why we suggested a progressive web app solution to them, because it's, in our view, the most reliable way of delivering a fast user experience, irrespective of connectivity. And they also wanted B2B and B2C e-commerce from one platform because they have a relatively small internal e-commerce team. And so they just wanted to have one admin panel and one sort of back office to manage. They also required the site to be multi-currency and multi-domain. And so that's one of the reasons why we recommended the technologies that we have. And they have some very complicated pricing and product configuration requirements, which not a lot of platforms, e-commerce platforms or PWA platforms can cater for. So that was part of the decision in choosing ScandiPWA and Magento. So to give you an idea of the timelines for the project, we kicked it off in January. We had several months of defining the requirements and the designs. Obviously, it's very very complex project. Sorry, and so development started this month in March. We'll complete the development of the site by September. As I said, it's a very large project, which is why it's taking so long, with very complicated requirements. In September, we'll conduct the quality assurance phase of the project, which is where we do the end-to-end testing. We'll then train the client in how to use the site and manage the sites. They'll conduct their user acceptance testing once they've been trained, and we plan to set the site live in November. So why a progressive web app for this particular client? Well, first and foremost, I'd just like to say that because of the way things are going with Google Core Web Vitals and everything, I think if you're building a website from scratch now, or if you're going through a major redesign, it is definitely worth considering doing it as a progressive web app. So we firmly believe that that is the future of e-commerce. So the reason we believe that is because PWAs take advantage of the features that the mobile phone operating platforms have to offer. They load faster and are more responsive. They work more intuitively. They can operate partially or fully offline. They offer extra features that you get with apps like push notifications, although that's on certain devices only at the moment. You can't do that with iOS devices, but that will come soon. You can add them to your home screen on a mobile device, just like you would an app. So to the end customer, it's just like having another app on their phone, but without having to download and update it from the App Store. They transfer the workload to the device instead of relying on the web server, which is part of the reason why you can have a good end user experience, irrespective of connectivity. It also means that merchants don't need to put the same amount of infrastructure into and hardware in place to service large amounts of traffic on their website. So it's good for the customer, but it's also good for the actual merchants. They're search engine friendly, and also they're linkable. So it retains its state when the user bookmarks or shares a URL. So effectively, with a PWA, you can have the best of both worlds, a responsive site that performs like an app on a mobile device, very simplistically. So why ScandiPWA? Well, as you probably know, there are lots of different platforms out there. And as an agency, we like to work with the best. So we evaluated quite a few of these on this slide. And we decided that for this particular merchant, ScandiPWA was the best fit. So main reasons why is because of the extensive support for out-of-the-box Magento features, both B2C and B2B e-commerce features. There's integration of the admin interface, so it's easy for merchants to actually manage the content that gets put out on the progressive web app. There's wide community support for ScandiPWA as a platform, and it's much simpler to install it, and it runs, more importantly, very well in Magento Commerce Cloud, which is not something to be considered lightly. So here's some examples of the extensive support for Magento. So it supports all of these features in all of these areas. Not many PWA platforms do that out of the box. What that means effectively is that you can sort of deliver a solution much faster, especially if it's a very complicated project. It also means that when the client needs to upgrade to the next release of either Magento or Scandi, it's going to be less painful and require less customization. So that's a really important consideration. There's also wide support in the community for payment gateways and so on. So here are some examples of some of the extensions that we're using on this client site, and they're already supported by, they're already compatible with ScandiPWA, but there are over 54, I believe, that work already, and that list is growing. So to conclude, and I'm probably preaching to the converted here, but PWAs, in our view, bring together the best of website and mobile app functionality so that you can deliver a reliable, fast, and engaging experience that increases conversion rates, sometimes by upwards of 50% across websites. And that's a combination of factors, but it's predominantly that the speed, we believe, and the usability are the main benefits that consumers are seeing when shopping using PWAs. So if you're considering a new website, then we would definitely recommend doing it as a PWA. It will be more future-proof and easier for you to meet Google's core web vitals and therefore perform well in search engines. It'll allow you as a merchant to be more agile and deliver solutions faster to market. If you imagine a scenario where you're maintaining a website and maintaining 3 or 4 different apps for various different operating systems across mobile devices, it's extremely difficult to maintain all of those sets of code. So PWAs are good for customers, but they're also good for development teams because they allow people to be more agile. And ScandiPWA in particular, if you're working with Magento, is an excellent fit, and we would thoroughly recommend it. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time.